On one hand, you got a blessing. And on the other hand, you have a barrenness. On one hand, you have a beauty. And on the other side, you've got a burden. On one hand, it is the best of times. And on the other hand, it is the worst of times. Can you look down into Laban's house and see the complexities of the beauty and the peace? I want to talk to some people out there who you have potential, but nobody sees it. You have gifts, but nobody sees it. You have something that God has given you, but nobody sees it. And you don't just not feel loved. Sometimes you just downright feel hated. And the Bible says in Genesis 29:31, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren. What I like about God is that God is a great equalizer. I don't care what you don't have, God will always give you something to compensate for what you didn't get. I wish I had a witness out there. Somebody knows I didn't get this, but God gave me that. I didn't get this door, but God opened up that door. I didn't see this breakthrough, but God gave me another breakthrough. And when God saw how they were treating his daughter, he said, that's all right. I'm going to give you something that makes you special. There's not a woman watching me right now that God didn't give you something that would make you special. And I don't care how they laugh, and I don't care how they score, and I don't care what they say at the beauty shop, at the barber shop, and I don't care what they say on the blog sites, and I don't care how they treat you when you go in the office. God, open up your womb. I command you to birth your dreams and your visions and those things that seem impossible. And you don't have to compare yourself with anybody else and their vanity and their beauty. God gave you something. And until you find out what he gave you and start strutting in your stuff of what God gave you, you'll never realize that in spite of being loveless, you are powerful. God just opened up your womb. God just opened up your business. God just open up your mind. God just open up your intelligence. God just open up your life. Beast, if you please. The second verse said, and Leah conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord have looked upon my affliction, and now therefore, check this out, maybe if I give him this baby, maybe my husband will love me. That's the dynamics of this text, is that this woman, for the next 4 children, is trying to have a child, and each one of them, whether it's Simeon or whether it's Levi, they're all her attempts to find out who she is, to find out, do I have any value? I know I'm not as beautiful as my sister, but can't you see that I have my own gifts? The contrast between the two women is absolutely obvious. It's obvious that Rachel has his love, and Rachel has his eye, and Rachel has his attention, and Jacob is willing to work another 7 years to be with Rachel. How terrible it must have been for Leah to lay in the bed of a man whose eyes were somewhere different from where his body was. But I know that there are some sisters out there who know what it is to have his body, but not have his eye. Beauty and the Beast, indeed. What bothers me is that I could see why Leah would be envious of Rachel. I could see her laying in the bed being jealous of Rachel, wishing she had what Rachel had, wishing she was the beauty, and wishing she was the one that was beloved, and wishing she had all the talent, and wishing she had this and that and the other. That's why I'm so confused. The text does not say that Leah envied Rachel. It says that Rachel is envious of Leah. Why is Rachel envious of Leah? Have you ever had somebody jealous of you and you wondered why they were jealous? Have you ever had people try to fight you and you wonder why they fought you? Because they didn't understand how hard it was for you to be you. I wish I had somebody out there who understood the feeling of being under attack even when you are vulnerable. And it's crazy because the person who is envious of you looks like they have more than you. But one thing about hate is never prejudice. It will dispute itself. It will distribute itself anywhere, amongst anybody, at any time, in any way, and you are not exempt from being hated. It's just odd to be hated by somebody that you admired. It's terrible to be hated and envious by somebody that you respected. It's tough to walk into a room where I thought we were sisters and I thought we were friends and I thought I could trust you. And why in the world would a woman like you, Rachel, be envious of a girl like Leah? Leah was gangly. Leah was uncoordinated. Leah couldn't hardly see. Leah was tangled-eyed. Leah had problems. Leah was unloved. Leah had been mistreated by her father. Leah had been abused by her husband. Why would you be jealous of Leah? The only thing that Leah had going for, the one thing that she had going for is that Leah was fruitful. I want to speak to rejected women everywhere. God is opening up your womb to make you fruitful in ways where you have been ignored and you have been ostracized. But I want you to text, tweet, put it on your notepad. God gave me something. One thing I love about God, God will not leave anybody without anything. He will always give everybody something, but nobody will have everything. And Leah had her blessing, and Leah had her blessing. And Rachel, with all of her stuff, is not satisfied to have what she got. She wants what Leah has, because the truth of the matter, Rachel may be fine. And she may have long hair, and she may be built like a Coke bottle, and she may stop traffic when she walks down the street, and she may have the eyes of all the men, and she may have the scorn of all the envious women, but Rachel was still barren. Rachel was beautiful, but Rachel was barren. You see, Leah was fruitful, but she was loveless. Rachel was loved, but she was fruitless. Jacob was blessed, but Laban was abusing him. And each of them had a story that was complicated. I want to talk to people who have a complicated story. On one hand, you got a blessing. And on the other hand, you have a barrenness. On one hand, you have a beauty. And on the other side, you've got a burden. On one hand, it is the best of times. And on the other hand, it is the worst of times. Can you look down into Laban's house and see the complexities of the beauty and the beast? I want to preach to you because I see poor people thinking that if they had more money, they'd be happy. But I know rich people, and I know that money doesn't necessarily make you happy. And sometimes you can have so much that your life becomes so complicated, you get rid of all of it just to have some peace of mind. And I see homely people who wish they were beautiful, but I see beautiful people who commit suicide. And I see illiterate people who wish they were intellectual. And I see intellectual people who are smart as you could be, but miserable as you could be at the same time. Everybody got something in the story, but everybody has a deficit, and everybody has a defect, and everybody has a problem. Everybody in the story, you see, has their own beast. See, you thought when I started talking, I was talking about Leah being the beast and Rachel being the beauty. You don't really hear the context of what I'm saying. I'm saying that everybody has a little beauty and everybody has a little beast. If it were not for that reality, I wouldn't be standing where I'm standing right now. Every one of you is hated by somebody. Jealous. People are jealous and envious of you because of something you have that they don't, and they are totally oblivious to the beast of the voice that sits on this shoulder. Yes, this shoulder looks good, but on this shoulder you've got something eating at you that you can't even talk about, that hits you at the core of your spirit, that contaminates every success and every moment in your life. I'm trying to tell you that every beauty has a beast, and every beast has a beauty. My friend, what is your beast? What is the thing in your life that doesn't work, that isn't glamorous, that has been traumatized, that has been ostracized? What is the thing that you keep backed up in a room that nobody sees? What is the thing in your life that breaks your heart and drives you to your knees? You never put your beast on the resume. You never put your beast on Instagram. You never put your beast on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or anywhere else. Oh no, we want everybody to see your beauty. You never post the bad picture. You never post the pain. You never post the problem. We always want to show everybody our beauty. Here comes Rachel. But I want to talk to you about the beast side. Because I have come to learn that it is not your beauty that makes you great. It's your beast. It is not the things that went right that causes your destiny to unlock. It's the things that went wrong. The most beautiful part of you, the most fruitful part of you, doesn't come from the most beautiful part of you. The most fruitful part of you comes from the barren place. And I want the barren woman to sing, to lift your hands up and sing your song. I want the barren woman to wipe the tears out of her face and break out and start singing your song, because God made you and because God created you. And I want the woman who's been used and abused and ostracized to understand that maybe you did go through that, and maybe it was terrible, and maybe it was tough, and maybe it was rough, and maybe you had to cry yourself to sleep, and maybe the only thing that you could trust to hold you was a pillow that you had to hold. Maybe you went through hell and high water and lost your job and lost your friends and lost your help and had to walk by yourself and raise your kids in the storm. Maybe you're raising your grandchildren, and maybe you don't have everything you wish you had, and maybe life has not been so beautiful for you. But I want to tell you, it is the beastly things that bring the blessing. Let's offer up this offering before God, because we want the Lord, I want the Lord to have respect unto my offering. I want him to honor it. I want him to receive it. I want him to receive your offering. I want him to receive your time. We are offering it. Doesn't mean he has to take it. We are offering it up to God. That means he's going to evaluate it. And so I give to him from a sincere place, and I give to him as an honest reflection of the level of blessing that's on my life. Whether it's as small as the widow's mite, or whether I give him kingdoms and the cedars of Lebanon, I give on the level of the blessing of the Lord on my life, and I'll offer it up to him. It is my honesty. It is my honesty. It is my obedience that blesses God. It is being ostracized and criticized and denied and set back and down to your last dime and trying to figure out how you're going to make it. It is those things that make you tough and make you strong and make you fight and make you drive and make you stand. It is the beast that makes you drop down on the floor and worship God while somebody else is trying to show off their nails. You ain't got nothing to lose. You will shake your hair down, fall down on your knees, and bless the God of your salvation. Because you know, if it had not been for the Lord that was on your side, Leah, you would have been swallowed up. But every time it looked like Laban had you, and every time it looked like Jacob didn't love you, and every time it looked like Rachel was just a jealous, vindictive, envious soul, God opened up something. And then he opened up something else. And then he opened up something else. And then he opened up something else. And now Leah said, I will bless the Lord at all times. I understand now why Leah had Judah, because Judah means praise. And every Leah who's ever been through ugly stuff and painful stuff and rejection and ostracization, I want every Leah that's watching me right now to birth Judah. Let a praise come out of your mouth. Let a praise come out of your lips. Open up your mouth and give God the praise. Rachel hated you, but she couldn't stop you. Open your mouth and praise God, because they meant it for evil does not mean that God did not make it good. And it's amazing, all through the relationship between Rachel and Leah, you would think Rachel was the disadvantaged one, when she had all the perks and all the privileges and all the opportunities. She went to all the parties, and Jacob spent most of his time with her, so much so that at one point Leah had to make a deal with Rachel to get Jacob to spend the night with her. And every time he did, that girl was fruitful again. See, there are some of you who have so much going for you that when you have a chance to have a God encounter, you don't know how to be fruitful, because you don't want to mess up your hair and you don't want to mess up your nails. But every now and then there are some other people who don't have anything to lose. And when you see a moment like this, and when you see glory like this, and when you see presence like this, and when you see power like this, you know how to seize it. You know how to lay prostrate in the floor. You know how to open up your mouth and give God the praise, because he was the only thing you had going for you. He was the only thing you had on your side. He was the only thing that brought you through the fire and the flood and the fight. And he told you, when you pass through the fire, I'll be with you. And when you go through the fire, I'll be there. And when you go through the flood, I'll be with you. And you know that if it had not been for the Lord that was on your side, you would have been swallowed up. And you owe him a praise. Clap your hands. Lift your voice. Shout unto God, because he blessed you anyway. Oh, yes. They were the beauty and the beast. It took Rachel a long time to stop being jealous of Leah, because just because something is beautiful on the outside doesn't mean that it's not beastly on the inside. I want to talk, as I come to the close, to the women who have beautiful things on the outside, and beautiful clothes, and beautiful cars, and beautiful houses, and beautiful lawns, and beautiful resumes, and beautiful opportunities. But down on the inside, there is a beast. When the door is closed, when the garage door goes down, when you get off work, and you kick off your heels, and you wash off your makeup, and you take off your eyelashes, and you shake down your hair, you deal with your own kind of beast. And as weird as it may sound, people look at your beauty and think you got it going on. And they don't know that beneath you having it going on at work or at the university or at the country club or in the community or in the choir or in the church, beneath all of that voice you got and all of that singing you got and all of that noise you make, they don't know that you got your own kind of beast. And sometimes you are envious of people that don't make sense because people can't see your beast. But yeah, Rachel, you got your beast. But I got good news for you, because in the fullness of time, the Bible said that God opened up Rachel's womb, and even Rachel conceived. I want to prophesy to somebody. It's been a long period of barrenness, a long period of being disadvantaged, a long period of wondering when things were going to work out for you, a long period of tossing and turning, a long period of whispering to God and driving to work with tears messing up your makeup. It's been a long time of being ostracized and denied. It's been a long time of having to do for yourself. It's been a long time. You had to negotiate for yourself, take the car in for yourself, fight the mechanics for yourself, deal with the contractor by yourself. It's been a long time that everything that happened, you had to do it by yourself. But I prophesy to you that you are coming into a season and God is going to break the curse over your life. I said God is going to break the bondage over your life. I said God is going to do what you couldn't do before. God is going to make a way out of no way. And when he makes that way, the thing that didn't work, I said the thing that didn't work, I said the thing that didn't work, it's about to change. And Rachel got pregnant and birthed Joseph. And they started going back and forth. Rachel has Joseph, and Leah has her sons. And then Leah has Dinah. And then Leah offers up her handmaid. And then Rachel offers up her handmaiden. And after a while, they had all of these sons and these daughters. And they had 12 sons and a daughter. And it's only then that we realized that God was in control of the chaos all the while. You see, Laban's house was a setup, because what gave Jacob distinction from Abraham and Isaac is that Abraham produced a seed after his body was dead. God gave him a seed so strong that when it hit Sarah's womb, it brought it back to life, and she birthed Isaac. And Isaac passed the seed. But it was Jacob's calling to multiply the seed. And if there had not been conflict in his house, he would not have had 12 children. But it was the fight itself that produced the 12 sons, that produced the 12 tribes, that caused Israel to be a nation. All of the nationality of Israel was predicated on the conflict that went on between beauty and the beast. As I close, I want to tell you, it might not make sense right now, and it might be painful right now, and your life might be complicated right now. But if God puts you in a beauty and beast situation, he's working on something. He's working for your good. He's working for his divine purpose. And when God gets through working it out, you're going to say, it was good for me. It was good for me. The beast was good for me. Because the truth of the matter is, It's not your beauty that drives you to greatness. It's your beast. It's your beast. It's your beast that makes you go back to school. It's your beast that makes you take an extra job to get up the down payment to buy your own house. It's your beast that makes you stand up on your own 2 feet and say, if you don't love me, I'm gonna love myself. It's your beast that gives you the tenacity to wipe your face and teach your daughters and your sons how to stand up and be strong. It is not your beauty that causes you to be successful. It is that beastly thing in the background. That's why when women rise to the top, that's why when they shatter glass ceilings, that's why when they conquer empires, that's why when they run movements and organizations, they don't say she's a beauty. No, they say that girl is a beast, because it is never your beauty that gets you to your destination. It is always your beast. Success is getting what you see on the inside to manifest on the outside.
What a mighty God we serve.
Make some noise in this place.
For your gift of any amount, you will receive Woman Thou Art Blessed, a 90-day devotional journey.
This is your season for preparation.
For your gift of $85 or more, you will also receive the Woman Thou Art Loosed Legacy Collection.
From faith to faith, glory to glory, generation to generation, God is here.
For your gift of $120 or more, you will also receive the Woman Thou Art Loosed Bible and the Powerful Woman 3-book collection.
This is for people who are serious about stepping into another realm of glory.
Don't wait. Call or go online, and this incredible bundle can be yours today.
Social media to extremism is like oxygen to fire.
We've created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of society.
I see a fading away, generals going home, and they're being replaced with our top tweeters. So you walk away with cliches, but no wisdom. I don't want to leave this world without making sure that what our fathers passed to us is passed to you.
400 hours of video uploaded per minute, 500 million tweets per day.
No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation.
How did we get to this point?
I want to say something that outlives me. I want to say something that becomes fuel for the next 200 years and lives on in your mouth and the mouths of your children.
Feel free to reach out to us on social media and share your story of how God is impacting your life. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Potter's Touch.